Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Today we're focusing on all things to do with relationships right here. And in the wild and wonderful world of modern dating, the rules of romance are actually being rewritten. I don't know if you've paid attention lately. With the rise of social media, dating apps, and also a virtual reality, the possibilities for meeting that special somebody are absolutely endless. And today we're joined by Daniela Mayer, who's a family therapist, divorce mediator, as well as parenting coordinator. And then also we have our gorgeous couple joining us, content creators and married couple Amber and Nick Wright. They're going to be on our couch to give their insights on this conversation. I mean, as a married couple, we still date, don't we?
We must.
It's
critical.
It's important to do so. Okay, we'll get into that. But I think if anyone's just tuned in now and doesn't know, doesn't recognize you, how exactly did you guys meet? How did you start dating?
Yeah, so we have a pretty unique story, I think. We met playing touch rugby.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Back in 2011. So
Crazy.
we've been together, February will be 13 years, and we've been married for 8 of those.
Okay, so when you say keep on dating, I believe you.
Yes, exactly.
Why do you think it's so important to continue dating even after you've tied the knot?
I think as you progress in your relationship, your priorities rebalance a little bit and lots of other things come in to compete for your time, especially as you get older and you have children and there's lots of, work stress, etc. And I think it's so easy to take your partner as a given in your life and to stop working on that relationship. And so, we've just seen that in times where we've not prioritized planning dates, that we've slipped from one another and how quickly you can actually rebuild that connection if you make it a priority consistently.
And intentional as well in your time. Exactly. I mean, Daniela, maybe you can weigh in here as well and talk to the value of dating, whether it's been 13 years or whether you're just starting out. Why is it important to even start dating?
I mean, I love what you've said now, and it's so true. And I think people lose sight very quickly of the stresses of life. And you get a sacred partnership, and you get so lucky to have met each other. And your relationship just shines through the energy. We can feel it. We can all feel it. So the thing is that wouldn't you want to make sure that you're kept as a priority to each other? And wouldn't you want to make sure that nothing can come above you or come between you? So how do we do that? And what you said exactly is right, is to make sure that nothing from the outside is stealing too much of your time, to be able to keep growing together, to be able to learn together. Even the challenges, like we saw you doing challenges together, to test each other. This is all what we need to do for a recipe, for a success story in terms of growing with each other, not away from each other. So good for you guys.
Because we want to grow towards, 100%. Not go our separate ways. Let's talk about even the beginning stages of dating, right? I think people are a little bit more spontaneous nowadays. They meet you in a grocery store, they meet you at a bar, and we take it off from there. Is there sort of importance placed on dating even and long-term relationships, or are people just kind of here for a good time, not a long time?
From my opinion, it's such a difficult situation nowadays. And I think 2025, what I would love to see is people redefining what it means to be in a relationship. We need to understand why we want the relationship in the first place and what we're hoping that it will fulfill for us. And so many people feel pressured to be in a relationship because they don't want to be alone. And can anybody here think of anything that's worse than being alone? Because I can.
There are many
being
things.
with the wrong person, not knowing yourself well enough to know what's important to you. So why do you want the relationship? Spontaneity is key here because you don't want to have this magical experience that's been completely planned out. How many times do you think, I'm going to have the best night out tonight, and you plan it to the T and it's a complete epic fail?
Right.
Fail. Those spontaneous moments are so important, and I think that we need to be aware of them and put less pressure on ourselves to go out and tonight I'm going to meet that person. It's not going to happen that way.
Sure. Sometimes life just happens as it should. And I always love organic moments between individuals anyway. Those make the best memories. How do you guys spark spontaneity even after 13 years?
So it's actually something we've prioritized this last year mainly. We decided that we had so much going on that we needed to actually find each other again. And I think especially after going through cancer, we was for such a long time, I was a patient and he was caring for me.
Wow.
And there's not much space for romance and for dating and for, you know, like you're bringing your love out. Like you're just trying to survive. And I think that was something that we were quite surprised by when we woke up one day and like we were through my treatment and we were like, wow, we actually really need to find each other again. And I was just thinking when you were talking about spontaneity, like something that I love is we were out walking our dog and our dog Phoenix, and Nick was saying, let's just go to Hudson's for burgers and cocktails tonight. And I was like, I don't have to cook. That's like the best thing you could say to me. So I think it's just so important to keep it it interesting and to not just get stuck in your same mundane routine. And I think for us, one of the things we also love is going on trips together. So little weekends away. I mean, we are so blessed to be in the Western Cape, where you can drive an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you can feel like you're in a different world. And you can have these wonderful weekends where you really do connect with one another. And those for us are, I think, our favorite times where we just get to really connect together.
I mean, you're nodding aggressively. You're like, yes. Right on the money. I mean, would you agree with that?
Yeah, completely. And I think one thing I do want to say is that people sometimes see passion and structure at odds with one another. And what we found is you do get to a point in your relationship where you need to introduce structure and schedule date nights in order to prioritize one another consistently. But the really surprising thing that we found is that you still can experience love and passion even if it's within structure where you've planned something ahead of time.
Sure.
And that's an amazing revelation that we've had.
That was a revelation you just gave me right now. I was like, wow, because they do. People think that they conflict, but you know what? You got to start somewhere and then take it off from there. Daniela, if people are struggling out here, let me tell you that much. 2025 or even the years before this, the dating pool kind of seems a little murky sometimes, or even putting yourself out there becomes a bit intimidating. So what would you say to somebody really looking for love in 2025?
I think that my biggest message is do not give up. And don't, again, like I said before, is don't put the pressure on yourself.
Right.
Because it will happen, it will come. And I think that while you're waiting, the worst thing that you can do is get into this downward spiral of I'm not going to meet anybody, there's no one out there. There are people out there. Why I say that you need to know what you're looking for is that is also going to help you like dramatically find somebody that you're looking for, because there is no point in wanting to meet a specific kind of person in the wrong place. You're not going to find them there. My mother always used to say to me, you're not going to find anybody sitting in your kitchen, you know? So of course, see where you're lacking in your own life for yourself. And say, okay, I need to be a little bit more spontaneous in my own right. I need to go out. I need to accept that invitation. I need to go to church more often if you want to meet somebody who's religious. If you want to meet someone who's not religious, don't look in church. You know? So the thing is, put yourself out there, don't give up, and surround yourself by friends and fun, and then you'll see, like, instead of sitting there waiting for the time to go, carry on with your life. There's no point in stopping it.
And there's even a higher chance of meeting somebody while you're also living it up and meeting somebody with the energy that you're putting out there.
People want to be with you when you are
a good
loving
time.
yourself. Like, really, they do.
I'm so here for it. Fill up your own cup first, and also let's declare this the year of yes, okay? Step out there, say yes to opportunities, yes to experiences, and you never know what lies on the other side of that affirmation. Guys, you were the best guests. I've taken some notes now, and I definitely feel prepared for the rest of 2025. Thank you so much.